Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Imagine standing before millions, every camera fixed on you, and in that moment, one small gesture changes everything. That's exactly what happened to Wang Yibo during the military parade. He never expected his simple act would ignite such a wave of support, not only in China but across the globe. Stay tuned, because what lies behind this moment reveals more than just patriotism. It's a story of growth, resilience, and the making of a true star. When Wang Yibo attended the military parade, many expected him to behave like every other celebrity, posting a brief message on domestic platforms, perhaps a patriotic phrase, and leaving it at that. What no one foresaw was the choice he made that day. Instead of taking the safe and ordinary route, Wang Yibo extended his words beyond the walls of his home country and shared them openly with the world. His post was brief, almost deceptively simple. Likes for the motherland. Yet it carried a resonance that rippled far beyond those 4 words. In that moment, his silence was broken not with extravagant speeches or carefully staged gestures, but with a statement that felt raw, unpolished, and genuine. What made this act so compelling was not only the content of his message but the courage behind it. The entertainment industry thrives on caution. Young idols are often told to stay neutral, to avoid taking visible stances that might divide their audience. In such an environment, Wang Yibo's decision was striking. He understood the risks of being misinterpreted or criticized, yet he chose to speak from the heart. His message was not crafted for applause. It was an instinctive expression of his values. For millions of viewers, that instinct revealed more about his character than any scripted role could. This gesture also stood out because of its timing. It occurred during a moment of solemn national pride, when the country was remembering history and honoring sacrifice. By participating not just passively but with sincerity, Wang Yibo bridged his world of fame with the deeper emotional world of his audience. People who had admired him for his acting suddenly saw a different side. A young man unafraid to align his public image with his private convictions. The authenticity of that connection was what gave his post weight. It was not the words alone but the honesty that lay behind them. Perhaps the most powerful aspect is that Wang Yibo did not expect the reaction. He was not aiming for headlines or praise. He was simply acting in accordance with his beliefs. And yet, because sincerity is so rare in the glare of celebrity culture, the audience recognized it instantly. They responded not just with likes but with admiration, respect, and a sense of shared pride. In this way, his small act became a turning point, reminding us all that true influence is not measured in fame or glamour, but in the courage to stand by what one believes, even when the world is watching. Wang Yibo has always been admired for his striking appearance and the unforgettable roles that propelled him to fame, yet the true measure of his identity lies beyond the spotlight. For years, audiences have celebrated him as Lan Wangji in the Untamed, a character whose calm grace became iconic, or as the determined officer in Ice, Rain, and Fire, embodying courage in the face of danger, or as the sharp and unpredictable Wei Ruolai in Wind Chaser. These roles brought him critical acclaim and awards, establishing him as a young actor of extraordinary promise. But when he stood at the military parade and chose to speak from the heart, audiences realized that there was more to him than performance. In that moment, the artistry that had defined him merged with the authenticity of the man himself. This authenticity has not come overnight. Long before the parade, Wang Yibo had quietly revealed glimpses of his values. Every national day, he would post a simple message of good wishes to his homeland. These gestures were easy to overlook in the noise of the entertainment industry, where constant promotion and calculated publicity dominate. Yet when viewed in retrospect, they form a pattern, small but consistent signals that patriotism was not a performance for him, but an enduring belief. The parade magnified this truth, forcing even the most skeptical voices to pause. They could see that his sincerity had been there all along, steady and unshaken. What makes this moment powerful is the contrast it reveals. On screen, Wang Yibo is skilled at portraying layered, complex characters, each role adding depth to his reputation. Off-screen, he rarely seeks attention beyond his work. He is not known for controversy or for chasing headlines. And so, when he chose to share his feelings during a moment of national significance, the world took notice precisely because it felt uncharacteristic of someone so reserved. It was as if the curtain had been pulled back, revealing the quiet but steadfast values of a man who had been speaking in small ways all along. Beyond the spotlight, Wang Yibo is more than an idol, more than a star. He is an individual who has grown with his audience, who has shown through both his roles and his actions that strength does not need to be loud to be heard. His choice at the parade became the proof that his artistry is not separate from his character. Both are bound together, and both tell the story of a young man whose influence rests not in spectacle, but in sincerity. Wang Yibo never set out to create a storm when he shared his gesture during the parade. To him, it was a small act, almost ordinary in its simplicity, a way to mark the moment with sincerity. Yet what followed was far from ordinary. The response was overwhelming. Millions of likes, shares, and heartfelt comments poured in. People did not just acknowledge his patriotism. They recognized something deeper. In an industry where celebrities are often accused of chasing relevance through spectacle, Wang Yibo's action felt disarmingly genuine. It was this contrast between expectation and reality that transformed a modest gesture into an extraordinary moment of connection. The impact came not from the words alone, but from the trust they inspired. Fans who had watched him for years suddenly felt their admiration affirmed in a new way. Even casual observers, who may have dismissed him as another young idol, began to reassess their perception. They realized that beneath the polished performances and the glamour of stardom was a young man unafraid to align himself with values that mattered to him. This shift in perspective was powerful, because it reframed him not as an entertainer who occasionally played noble characters, but as an individual capable of embodying integrity in his own life. What made the moment even more compelling was its unpredictability. Wang Yibo did not seek applause or headlines. In fact, it is likely he did not anticipate such a wave of response at all. That lack of calculation made the reaction stronger. People respond instinctively to authenticity, and his quiet honesty resonated across boundaries of age, culture, and nationality. For many, the simplicity of his message became proof that influence is not always measured by grand statements but by the courage to speak plainly when it matters most. This unexpected impact also highlights a wider truth about the relationship between celebrities and their audiences. While fans admire talent and beauty, what they long for most is a glimpse of sincerity. Wang Yibo provided that, perhaps unintentionally, and in doing so reminded millions why they follow him in the first place. The moment was not crafted for admiration, but it created admiration all the same. His unplanned honesty became a mirror in which audiences rediscovered their own longing for authenticity, and through it, Wang Yibo's place in their hearts was renewed with a deeper and more lasting respect. From another angle, this gesture marks a turning point for the younger generation of celebrities. Many remain cautious, but Wang Yibo's move set a precedent. Fame can be used not only to entertain but also to unite. His action resonated with young fans in Seoul, Tokyo, Bangkok, Paris, Los Angeles. Anywhere people long to see sincerity in their idols. Proves that authenticity transcends language and culture. For longtime fans, the moment was deeply emotional. They had followed his career from struggling newcomer, criticized for being expressionless, to a decorated actor commanding box office success. Now they witnessed him reveal yet another side. A grounded, sincere man who isn't afraid to show love for his country. Felt like rediscovering Wang Yibo all over again. Where does this leave us? For Wang Yibo, the gesture may have been simple, but its ripple effect is immense. It strengthens his legacy not only as a talented actor, but as a role model for a generation navigating fame, responsibility, and identity. For fans, it reinforces a message. Real influence doesn't come from glamour alone. It comes from courage, consistency, and heart. Wang Yibo never expected his action during the parade to touch millions. Yet sometimes, it's the simplest gestures that resonate the most. And in that simplicity lies the power to inspire. Thank you for watching Star Watch Now. If this story moved you, Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe, so you'll never miss the latest stories of the stars who shape our world. Until next time, stay inspired and stay connected.